What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on First Take, they're going to be talking about Johnny Manziel. I know this is an old video. I like to talk about it. They're going to talk about Johnny Manziel and how is he done? Is he going to be able to play football anymore? Because I think he just got cut from a football team in Canada that he's been playing with, and he has a few other problems. So let's see what they have to say.
Mr. Smith, I'd like to direct this to you. Is this the end of the road for Johnny?
I believe it is. I know one could argue you can't say that with Vince McMahon coming out with something in the AAF, and I guess, I mean, if that qualifies as a chance, okay.
But Vince says if you have any prior arrests, even a DUI, that you can't be in the league.
Okay, well then that rules out Johnny Manziel.
Well, that's going to be kind of weird. So, and Jimmick or McMahon, whatever the wrestler guys that making up this new football league, the XFL, which I think they had XFL earlier, about 15 years ago. But anyways, none of your players can have an arrest record or have a DUI. I'm not going to say that's going to be hard to find, but you might not get the best of players. You might not get a lot of quality players, because I know a lot of football players have something in their record. Something. Not all of them. I don't want to stereotype like that, but football players were a unique breed. We like to have fun. We get treated different. We get treated special. We get special treatment. Because not everybody can play football. If you're an athlete, you're a football player, you know what I'm talking about. We're a special breed. All right, let's keep going.
So
How's he going to have a league? That's what he said. He just did the press conference.
That's a good question about Max. How's he going to have a league? Here's what I'm saying in all seriousness. Johnny Manziel, the fact he didn't get let go by the team. He got let go by the league. The league is prohibiting any team from having him as a part of their league. You know how bad that is? When the league sits up there and says, we won't allow anybody to touch you because we believe that you're that bad, without giving the details as to what your transgression was. When you combine that with the kind of stuff that he got involved, alcohol, and then...
So that's very interesting. So not only did Johnny Manziel get cut from the Canadian team, he didn't get cut from a team, the whole league said you are banned from playing football in the CFL. They banned him? You got expelled from the Canadian Football League? What did he do that would get him expelled? Get him banned? I mean, you have to be putting in some work, because look, how many players in the NFL have done something so bad and they weren't kicked out? They weren't even kicked off their team, let alone kicked out of the league, banned in the league. We've got killers in the NFL. We got rapists in the NFL. We got players getting DUIs, players beating the crap out of their girlfriends, and to get kicked out, and they're still there. Ray Lewis had troubles with the murder. Plaxico Burress blew his balls off. Ben Roethlisberger apparently raped some girl. It's all over the place. And they're still there balling. Now, I hate to bring up those guys' names. I hate to do it, but it's an example. And everybody may not have been convicted, or some of them may have been convicted. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in some of their past. But these guys put in some work, and they weren't kicked off the team, let alone the league. But Johnny Manziel has been banned from the Canadian League, and I haven't heard anything about him being arrested. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything from TMZ. And TMZ is everywhere. TMZ is everywhere. And I haven't heard anything. He screwed up so bad, he must have pictures on somebody. He's got videotapes on somebody. To get banned, to get kicked out, says you can't play again, never? But you got killers in the NFL? All right, let's keep going, man. Let's keep on going. I don't know.
Obviously, he got into the issue with, his girlfriend at the time, the domestic dispute. I'm saying, so you got the NFL, and you never even completed 60% of your passes. You got the NFL as an issue, the behavioral issues, and then you got banned from Canada. Oh,
and they're so nice up in Canada,
that's what I was going to say.
They're very nice.
Very
nice.
Right?
For them to ban you?
Look,
you can sleep with your doors unlocked in Canada.
Look, we know the character issues and everything with Johnny Manziel, right?
Yes.
Maybe if he had a Russell Wilson personality, he could have made it in the NFL, maybe. But I got to tell you something about the Combine. He was not quite the athlete at the Combine that we thought he was, right? Because, again, it's hard to gauge sometimes when you can...
Now, hold on, Max. So I know sometimes it's hard to gauge, how good a player's going to be at the combine. But if I recall correctly, I think people were pretty impressed with what Johnny Manziel was doing at the combine. So let's not act like he was straight trash and just got lucky and they accepted him into the league. He did pretty good at the combine. He was making his throws. He was on point. I think he tested out pretty well. He graded out pretty well. And I think the only knock on him was he was short. Because I think he's barely 6 foot. That's the only knock I ever heard about Johnny Manziel at the combine. Other than, obviously got in trouble for drinking and, a bunch of other little stupid things. But, other than that, let's not act like he went to the combine and everybody was like, man, this guy is straight garbage. It wasn't like that, Max. All right, let's keep going.
Do some things on the college level. It looks like you look fast, you look athletic, and then you get compared to the pros, and it's a little different. In baseball, it's called a 4A player. A guy who can tear it up in AAA, and that should result, because they have formulas that'll tell you what he'll do in the major leagues, but somehow it doesn't quite translate to the majors. Or in Japan, they can tear it up, and not quite, it's called a 4A player. AAA is right below the majors. This guy is really a 4A player. I think Johnny Manziel had 4A talent, and I think that's really the issue. So if you have that kind of talent, and you do everything just right.
Now, wait a minute, Max. So, first you knocked his combine workout, which I heard was pretty good as we went over. Now you're talking about him as a player. He wasn't really as good as people thought, or he wasn't as good as was projected to be. So, if he never got in trouble on the field, I bet you he would probably still be someplace. He'd be a backup quarterback, a scrub coming off the bench, but he'd probably still be in the NFL as a backup someplace. If he hadn't gotten in trouble. But I think since he got in trouble, all that mixed with he may not be a starting quarterback caliber type player. He could maybe back somebody up. But since he's not a starter type player and he's had a lot of trouble off the field, I think he got the boot. But like I said, if he never had any trouble off the field, I bet you John Manziel would still be someplace in the NFL playing. I bet you he'd be back up someplace. But he screwed it up, and, you make your bed, you got to sleep in it. So let's keep going.
Maybe you can make it, but there's no margin for error. And really what it comes down to with him is he wasn't quite talented enough to overcome this stuff. And I think this is the end of the line for him. I disagree with both of you. I don't think this is the end of the road for Johnny Manziel. Max, you might be right that he's a 4A player, but that's exactly why there'll be another opportunity for him, because there's 2 new 4A leagues, essentially, in the AAF, and we'll see how principled Vince McMahon is about prior arrests with the XFL. Now, I do agree, Stephen A., it's incredibly eyebrow-raising to not just be cut from the Montreal Alouettes, but to say you are barred from the CFL. No other teams can sign you, and it's even more eyebrow-raising when we've heard nothing in terms of an arrest or any kind of trouble with the law whatsoever.
Yeah, so again, I agree with Will Kane, but, it's like, well, what did he do that was so bad that he had to be banned? When you have players in the NFL, like I said, that are straight murderers, rapists, getting DUIs, beating up their girlfriends, getting caught with multiple guns, starting fires, I don't know, get caught pissing in the alley. I mean, all types of stuff. And they're still in the league. But this guy does something so bad that you don't get cut from a team, we banned you for life from the league? That's a special kind of screw up there, bud. You're a special guy.
I don't know if there's something that's missed the American news wires that's happened in Canada, but it's an extremely harsh reaction to something we don't know that he violated. We don't even know. What they're saying is he violated the terms and conditions of his employment. We don't know what those original terms and conditions were, much less which one he violated now.
Are we allowed to imagine?
You would assume it's extremely
Only reason I'm bringing that up, I'm saying the only reason I'm asking, are we allowed to imagine? I've heard a lot of very fascinating things about the city of Montreal. I've never been there, but I've heard a lot.
You ever been to Montreal?
Never.
Oh, my.
So from what I could pick up from Stephen A. is he's implying, from what I'm picking up, that Montreal could be a party town. It could be a place where you party. It could be a place where there's probably everything that you probably associate with having a party. Probably drugs, alcohol, all that type of stuff. It has an atmosphere, I'm assuming, of being at Las Vegas. Montreal has all the festivities of Las Vegas, is what I'm picking up from Stephen A. And that is a huge thing for somebody that's like Johnny Manziel that is attracted to that type of festive activities, if you will. So let's keep on going.
Montreal's fantastic.
You avoided going to Montreal.
I've heard a lot.
Montreal
I've heard a
is
lot.
excellent.
Because I love
saying.
Toronto.
So is Quebec
I love
City.
the city of Toronto. And I've been told.
And I kind of wonder, why does Molly keep talking? Somebody needs to shut her up. Somebody needs to call Jalen and be like, look, man, I mean, this is getting out of control. You got to control your girl, man. You got to talk to her. All right, let's keep going. Jesus.
It's nothing compared to Montreal.
Oh,
I
I just want everyone to know. I'm talking about the shopping. I don't know what you guys are talking
Montreal,
about.
I don't know what they're talking about either.
Fantastic shopping. Yeah.
So, I don't understand that. Why would she say that? Why would she say that? Why would she bring up shopping on a sports show? When we're talking about football. We're talking about some dude getting in trouble for in a city that has festivities like Las Vegas, a party city. And she brings up, oh, I like the shopping. Who cares about the shopping? Why would she say that? I mean, that's arrogantness right there. That's the arrogantness of her being on this show. Knowing damn well nobody cares about shopping. Nobody that's watching this is really going to care about shopping. We're talking about football, not shopping. I'm going to have to call Jalen and have a talk with him because this is getting out of control.
I just want to say this. Unless it comes back, if the unknowns don't come back extremely, awful and extreme to justify this, he'll get another opportunity in the AAF or the XFL.
I think that's a good point. I think it's not impossible, but if he is doing things to get himself banned from Canada, not just the Canadian Football League, but the country of Canada.
He's not kicked out of Canada.
He's really got to get stuff together and fast because he does not have the kind of talent that makes it automatic.
And he's gotten a lot of chances. Hey, Will, what's coming up on the Will Kane show today? What are you excited to talk
got
about?
Got a little Kyler Murray, little combine talk. Get into lying season. I don't know. Hey, real quick, you know what I really liked? Although I disagree with it? I did like Mr. Kellerman's idea about the Steelers potentially trading Ben Roethlisberger. I think it's a flawed thinking. He's
If the Pittsburgh Steelers trade Ben Roethlisberger, that would be one of the stupidest moves of the year. I mean, he's a well-proven quarterback. He's a two-time well-proven quarterback. And those are hard to find. Those are very hard to find. Just ask the Chargers. I mean, that would just be a super bad move. Now, maybe you might want to get somebody else. You might want to start looking around for a replacement for Ben for when he retires. But to get rid of him, nah, you don't do that. Nah, you don't do that. Let's keep going. It's almost over.
Too in the paper on this one, theory, but I do think it's at least interesting idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but I think you got to talk to some guys in that locker room. See